Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. It's a Monday night. It's 11:15 at night. What the heck am I doing? Well, I want to start going live every night, not this late. I'm shooting for around 9 p.m. That's the goal, 9 p.m. I'm only I'm only 2 hours and 15 minutes late, but you know what? We're still here. We're still doing it. Before we jump into this, I got to show you guys something super, super cool. Elgato sent me this today. Elgato and Discord now have a Stream Deck Mini, and it has Discord functions built into it. Now, it will work just like a regular Stream Deck, but look at how cool this is. It's purple. I just opened it right before I went live. So, hello camera, come back. There we go. So, super, super cool. n64josh.com/Elgato. Use coupon code N64Josh. And yeah, check this. This thing is so sick. I can't wait to set it. I don't even know where I'm going to put. Like, I have so many Stream Decks. I don't even know where I'm going to put this one. So I see Cryptic is here. What's going on? He says, yo, Nady Nay says, hello, Joshua-san. What's going on? So here's the deal, guys. These live shows that we're going to do throughout the week, they're hangouts. They're literal, like, I got a handful of things to talk about. We're going to talk about the Mario Galaxy movie. I beat Pokemon, so we'll talk a little bit about that. I also played quite a bit of Air Riders, so we can discuss that a little bit. But I kind of want it to be more just like a laid back, chill talk show versus like, let me go through every bit of the news and blah 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 blah. Like, I want to have all that done by the time we get to these shows, so we can just kind of hang out, talk about whatever the hot topics are. I can get your guys' thoughts on things, and we can kind of just like, I'm finding that I'm spending so much time preparing stuff right now that I need some like non-prepped content where we can just hang. So that's the whole point of this here. So I hope you guys like it. Cryptic said they haven't any sales this Black Friday. Yes. I know for sure that Redacted is going to be on sale, and also that Redacted is going to be on sale. So stay tuned. Nady Nay with the just coming in hot, saying hopefully the Galaxy movie is better than the bad Galaxy games. Whoosh. Talk to me. What do you mean? I love the Galaxy games. What do you mean bad Galaxy games? Talk to me here. I want to hear the hot takes, the hottest of takes on why the Galaxy games are bad. Also, I want to like, on the topic of Galaxy, like, how stoked are you guys for the Galaxy movie and getting this direct? And also, how many of you, if you're like me, you've got notifications turned on for Nintendo's tweets. And when I saw the colors, I was like, and I saw Direct, I was like, Metroid Direct. I saw the purple. And then I was like, oh no, that's a movie Direct. Never mind. And I have seen quite a few people say the same thing, like, when? Metroid Direct when? Metroid Direct when? I'm thinking November 21st. What do you guys think? Cryptic says enough of that nonsense. There we go. I think he's referring to Nate talking poorly about the Galaxy games, but we'll see. Yep, there it is. More than likely, Nate stepped away, so he's like, he's not going to hear this until later. He'll be like, wait, what? But no, I mean, just because it wasn't Metroid doesn't mean I'm not still super, super excited for this. We have we have seen some of the leaks of like from Pillsbury. If you guys saw my shorts today or my TikToks talking about it, like that the Yoshi has scales. It's kind of crazy, but I mean it makes sense, right? He's got to have a little more detail than just being green. Some scales is kind of cool. And watching them recreate some of the fairly iconic uh, box art, from Galaxy 2 of Mario riding Yoshi, I think is great. So Nate said, I can't stand the controls. You got motion. I have no notion to play. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you probably wouldn't have liked him the first time then. Like, I mean, if I'm being honest, I didn't love the controls initially either. It was not my favorite. Like, I didn't I didn't want to have to play with the nunchuck and the Wii remote. Like, I wanted to just use a pro controller. It was during that era of the DS and the Wii where Nintendo forced that a lot, And I got used to it quickly though, and was like, and honestly, Nate, I wonder if you shouldn't try that. Don't even play with the pro controller. Do split Joy-Con and see if that makes it any better for you. I don't know if it will or not. It may not, but so let's see. Cryptic said Galaxy is my favorite Mario game, so this Galaxy movie has me excited. Yeah, same. And he's also curious how they incorporate Yoshi. Yep. Nate says, I'm sorry for your standards, Cryptic. Here comes another take. Nate said Metroid Prime Remastered made me less excited for Prime 4. I need a direct for sure. Give me details. I'm gonna have Nate come on. Nate's coming on. We're trying to get the dates worked out. Nate is gonna come on. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about some Metroid stuff. Because I even jumped into Metroid Prime Remastered just for a little bit today because I was testing some headphones, and I was like, "Oh, I miss this. I miss it." But it's definitely a slower pace. It's a slower pace. It could be a bit of a slog at times. So I get it. I think the Viola bike is going to help the pacing. I'm hoping with Prime 4 that will make it feel a bit more modern, So Cryptic says, did Nate not have dinner tonight? He has hot takes on a Monday. Yeah. Nate said, could just be old mechanic design and no nostalgia. Yeah, I can see that. I really can, because for me, going back to it is like I remember doing this. Oh, I remember this was so epic. Like it was, and especially at that time, like if you think back, we were getting into that era where bosses were getting getting big, like they were much bigger scale, and like seeing them in first person versus like third person of Zelda or things like that. Like I just remember like there were moments and you were just like, this is exciting. It's a change of pace from the other games coming out at that time, like Halo, right? It was a very, very, very different game than Halo. So that, although I loved Halo, for some reason it just felt like I was playing Super Metroid in first person, and that's what really, really, really helped me enjoy it. But again, it's that nostalgia factor. It goes back for how many years for me? I mean, so many years. So many years. And if I remember correctly, wasn't Dread your first Metroid that you played through? Nate says, I don't mind the pacing too much. It's the escape room feel. Aimlessly wandering, same enemies respawning over and over. Totally get that. Yeah, totally get it. Even as I'm playing through it a second time, and I don't really remember Like I remember going into areas and then seeing like, you know, like, oh, I remember this area. Other areas I don't remember. And then where to go? No. It's like playing a new it's like playing a new game for me at times. So he said, at least let me pinpoint stuff on a map. At least, yeah. Yep. And we see so many modern gaming tropes in Dread that I don't think it'll be an issue for Prime 4. I think that, and there's even speculation as people are like looking at the trailers and kind of breaking things down, that there's a good chance there's fast travel spots. Like, just like they're like Dread added so many quality of life things. But you see, I go all the way back to the NES, and then the Super Nintendo was one of my you guys hear me say it all the time. It's in my top five gaming or top five games. It's just, to me, it was an experience. It was an experience, and I remember it was during that era. There was no internet. And I remember getting stuck in places and then like finding tips in like Nintendo Power. And I was like, oh, I got to try this and that'll probably get me. And then that would work, you know? And so just such a different era of gaming. And Super Metroid is so much slower than Dread. You don't have the stylized movement, anything like that. So Cryptic said, no, let's not babyfy and adding the pinpoint, etc. The whole point of is exploration and being lost in the world. Enjoy the atmosphere. Ooh. Can we have both? That's my question. Can we have both? Because I want to explore up into a point that I find a fast travel area, and then I can travel to another area I've been to already without having to walk through all the corridors. And that's literally all it is. I want to have to unlock everything and not be able to fast travel until I've been to certain areas. It's just the being known for backtracking. And even if they do some goofy things where it's like, oh, the power to this fast travel got shut down, so it forces backtracking, something along those lines. Like, I don't mind. But when it's constant wandering, it can wear on you, I'd say. Nate says, I always say, I don't mind challenge at all. I'm all for it. It's when you feel like this is fluffing before. Okay. Perfect. And the pinpointing feature is tied to the $45 amiibo. Here we go. Nate says, I don't want to explore an even larger world like I had to explore in Prime 1. That will drive me nuts. You also you're not a big fan of open world in general, right? Like you enjoy the more linear experience, if I remember correctly. So that makes sense. It makes sense. Like you've definitely gone out of your comfort zone this year with games, and completed stuff like Breath of the Wild, Dread, Prime Remastered, like, but you're also loving Ninja Gaiden 4 and Ragebound and Shinobi. Like you've got some pretty good taste, I would say. Just not everything's gonna be for everybody. Honestly, you'll probably like Hyrule Warriors better than Breath of the Wild because it's more linear. It literally just tells you where to go, and you just open up base after base. So Cryptic said, but Nate, your favorite game is Xenoblade. Now that'll be a cold day. That'll be a cold day when we get Nate playing Xenoblade. I don't know if that's even possible. Can we get Nate to play Xenoblade? I want to get back to Xenoblade. I'm just annoyed that they've only given a patch to 3 and not X. I want to play more X, but I want them to upgrade it a little bit. I think they saw it in the code in the net, or in the like through some data mining. So I would love to see a little bit more, just a few improvements. So I do want to talk about the Galaxy trailer and the direct. We got like there's the speculation. Like, what's the movie gonna be about? One of the things, and I was talking about it in chat today. One of the things that I am the most excited for in Super Mario Galaxy movie, and this is I'm hopeful if this ends up happening, is that we're gonna get more Luigi. I was watching the movie not too long ago, and I'm like, I'm kind of annoyed at the fact that that he was the character that had to be rescued, right? Like they had to do it, and it becomes Peach a little bit later on. And I get it. I understand it. I mean, it's, there's only so many stories that can be told, and having somebody be rescued is always the way to go, right? But like, I want I want to see more of them like together, like Mario and Luigi together, or see Luigi do some more Luigi stuff. Like, uh, is the poltergust going to get introduced in this movie? Is are we going to see? Is it Professor Egad? And like, are they gonna get into like ghost houses and Luigi's Mansion at all, or is that going to be the next movie? All I know is that I want to see more Luigi. Nate says, I definitely don't like open world. I'm fine as long as I can make a beeline where I need. Oh yeah. Cryptic said, do you think we get more Toad, or is he going to be Captain Toad? So let's talk about Toads for a second, because I'm looking at the thumbnail and the picture that they used for the promo material, and I did a little short on this, just kind of breaking it down. But like, there's one Toad who's in Mario PJs, holding a Mario plushie, pointing at the. We can only assume the different. There's like star bits falling, right? There's another Toad with a chef hat, so Chef Toad, and then it looks like there's a Toad with glasses, and I'd have to go back and watch the movie again, but I think that's the Toad that Peach is talking with, but I don't know. I think he's older, so I'd have to go and I'd have to compare the pictures, but I am curious on if like Captain Toad's going to be a thing. Is Toadette going to make it into the movie? Why is this Toad in Mario PJs, and why is he holding a Mario plushie? Like, what is this? What is this about? There's star bits raining all over the Mushroom Kingdom. We can see Peach's castle in the background. Some of the Toads look scared. Some of them look excited, like they're. And then, like I said, that one is just pointing, right? And so I wonder if Toads have a bigger part in this movie altogether. If that's just if that's like, why are we seeing Toads? I love the sails on their boats. Like, you can see they're shaped like a star. I think that's just super cool. And so where are we going here? Where's this story going? I'm excited to see. Nadine Nay says, can't wait for the movie. The first movie knocked it out of the park with the visuals, music, and comedy. Yes. It was almost as good as the 93 real. I feel like Nate is on one tonight, you guys. I don't know. I feel like Nate is on one tonight. The 93. I need to watch the 93, because there are people that talk about it like it's a cult classic now. It's really funny to me that's even a thing. But yeah, it's been years since I've seen that one. But I do wonder the premise of this story. Like, what's Yoshi going to have to do with this? What we can only assume Rosalina's going to be there. It's Mario Galaxy. I have a feeling it's gonna we kind of got the origins of Mario and Luigi. I'm wondering if this is going to be more origins of like Peach, since they kind of mentioned it in the last one. I don't know for sure if that's going to be the case, but I have a feeling that will happen. I think was it McDonald's toys? They show. I think they show. What I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say anything now in case it's like a spoiler, but there's definitely characters I was expecting to show up that are going to be showing up if those leaks were real. And so I wonder how it's all going to go. I wonder how it's all going to go down. Cryptic says, I wonder what the overarching story is. Do we get Birdo attacking Yoshi Island? Is Bowser taking over the observatory and kidnapping Rosalina? Do we get Koopa Kids rescuing Bowser? These are all the questions, right? Is Bowser Jr. involved? Like what is going on here? Like do the Koopa Kids do something to Rosalina and make her show up? You know, like what is going to be happening? There's so many possibilities, and like I love that first movie. I'm a little nervous about the second one because it's like it's got big it's got big shoes to fill, you know? Like it was that first one was really, really fun. It was complete fan service, and I'm here for that. In with games and movies that I love. So Cryptic says, is DK going to be a part of this movie? Will there be a setup for the DK movie, a spinoff, or Luigi's Mansion? It's a good question, because we didn't see Donkey Kong. We didn't see Seth Rogen in the cast, I don't believe, or the returning characters or anything like that. Or I don't know if it was cast or the few teasers that we've seen. There's been no sign of Donkey Kong, which like I would be bummed about. But at the same time, if he is getting a movie, it gives more room for other characters to have more backstory and to take up more of the spotlight. Because I mean, he somewhat stole the show during the third act of the first movie, and I think it was fantastic, especially being, you know, from like Mario's origins. So I think that was great. So if he's not here, I won't be like completely bummed out, but at the same time, I hope there's some reference to him. Maybe he comes in at the end and that leads into the second, into the first Donkey Kong movie. And the thing is I wouldn't even be bothered if it was like a Super Mario, if the next movie is more, Donkey Kong focused or something along those lines. Like, where do we go from this one? I feel like they jumped so far ahead in the games, if you will, that like, where does that leave us for the next movie? Maybe it's strictly Mario Kart. It's just Super Mario Kart World, the movie. And, it's just a bunch of intermission. It's just a movie that's always has so many intermissions. It would be unreal. I am very curious on how they keep this going and the directions that they go, and what kind of worlds we get to see. If Bowser Jr. is in this one, the Koopalings could definitely be in the next one, or maybe they get creative with a different enemy altogether. I think the storyline for Super Mario Brothers 3 would be fantastic, honestly. Like having Bowser and the Koopalings go and take out a bunch of different kingdoms, and Mario and Luigi got to go through the I got to go through the different worlds and whatnot. Like it sounds so simple, but to watch something like that come to life would be so much fun. Rico Lisa, same here. I would love to see a Wario in this movie. I know he wasn't in Galaxy, but he could be so much fun and help set this movie apart along with Bowser Jr. and Rosalina. Oh, yes. Cryptic says, I did enjoy the Mario Kart reference. It would be cool if they added them doing a tennis tournament or a soccer tournament on different islands. That's how we get a little cameo by DK and friends. There you go. That would be great as well. Like, you watch, the movie will start with everything is peaceful, and like it'll show them out golfing, playing some tennis, and then all hell will break loose, and whatever, Bowser's getting rescued, and then they're stealing the Peach's castle or something crazy. And I do wonder if they really do lean into the games, if that's kind of the direction it goes, where like the whole castle gets taken and they're off to get it back. And then it's going to turn into like an Avengers 2 scenario where they don't want it to fall too fast because it'll wipe out the entire Mushroom Kingdom, and it adds a whole nother layer there. So, but yeah, it's just so exciting that we're seeing this sequel. It feels like time is just flying by, and I can't wait to sit and watch this with you guys on Wednesday morning. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun. My week for the gym, I gotta get up early. I gotta be up at 6 because my gym time over the past few months has been getting to the gym about 8:45. So. But these early morning directs, they keep messing it up. One of the directs I literally drove to work. I think it was the Kirby one, and then came to the gym and then came back because I was like, I got to get back for this direct. Rico Lee says they aren't afraid to take liberties with the movies, so I could see Wario or even Daisy showing up. Oh, for sure, yeah. Would be great. New characters for Mario and Luigi and the rest to bounce off of. Yes, yeah, for sure. For sure. And I mean, like there are so many characters that they can still lean into that even if we don't get everybody in this one, it leaves room in the next one as well. Because even like Waluigi, I know like Spike, who's in the first one, is kind of supposed to be like Waluigi-esque, but he definitely was not Waluigi. So did they say how long the direct is? Honestly, I don't know about a direct till I see. I didn't know about the direct until you saw my shorts. Nice. That's what I was hoping. That's literally what I was hoping. That I'm like, I'm gonna get these put out and see if they can help anybody that hasn't seen this stuff yet get eyes on it. So that's awesome to hear. And Nate says hopefully Kirby isn't in the movie. Oh. Yo, Kirby's gonna end up getting a movie. You watch. Sakurai's gonna direct it, so that's what's gonna happen there. But no, I want to let you guys know a little bit too. Like I've started putting more articles on n64josh.com. One of the things that I put out was all of the amiibo that work for Animal Crossing, for the Zelda characters, for Minoru and Talon, I think that's the name. And then Ceviche, the two Splatoon characters. I put a list from the Nintendo of Japan, put it out. I just translated it and put it into English, so it's on my site now. So if you were curious on which amiibo unlocks which character, I have the full list there for you. So Nico Games says Mario movie direct was not on my bingo card. Yeah. I said at the beginning of the stream, I literally thought it was Metroid based on the colors. As soon as I saw the purples, I was like, Metroid direct, let's go. And then I looked, and because I was just looking at my watch and I could tell there was a direct happening. And then I looked again and was like, oh, that's That's Mario Galaxy. Rico Lee says, I'm convinced Toad is becoming Captain Toad in this movie. Would be great character development for him, and would also make sense with how he had the Captain Toad theme from the games. Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm kind of thinking that they lean a little bit into Super Mario Brothers 2, where that was all four of them adventuring together, right? It was Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. And so I do kind of wonder if that's going to be somewhat of the direction that they go with this movie, that the four of them have to set off, to go, stop Bowser or the Koopalings or whatever. Cryptic says Mario's going to go into space, and a small cameo when Rosalina powers up the observatory in Lightspeed, and it's going to stop in a Kirby world while they're doing Air Riders Race. Yo, there it is. And this is why the Super Mario Galaxy movie is just going to be one long commercial that we all pay for. That's what's going to be happening here. So, well, I wanted to let you guys know I beat Pokemon Legends ZA this weekend, rolled credits. And Brian says, so basically Mario Fast and the Furious. Yes, that's it. So the conversation around Pokemon games is, they're kid games. They're kid games. The subject matter for Pokemon Legends ZA, I'm sorry, is not a kid game. Like, it does not seem like a story for kids at all. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to say anything, but like, I feel like there's almost a bit of an identity crisis with Pokemon a little bit. Cause I'm like, this is not like it's fine. It wasn't anything like too crazy by any means, but it still left me going like, is this really like just for kid? Like it had a lot of adult themes. That's all I will say. So what was and I feel like some of the other games do as well. And maybe some of it goes over their heads, but there was just a few things that I was like, yo, I mean, great storytelling, like really good storytelling, but also like, wow. Nate says, I was really hoping, since they're going straight to Galaxy, I hope they at least filling out the older gens in the movie too. Oh, in some way, like kind of touching on the different, they're probably going to do something. I would imagine they're going to jump through a painting or something that's very Mario 64. So Nate says it's a game that has kids, but is not for kids, kind of like it. Yeah. Rico Lee says, I have a theory that Nintendo's saving 3D Mario for next year as a cross promotion. Plus, they've never waited longer than a second year to drop a new 3D Mario. It just feels right to me. Yo, I hope so. I think so many of us are ready for a 3D Mario. Cryptic says, watch the final scene. It's going to have Star Fox reference. Finally battle against Bowser in space, or whoever villain it is. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. I mean, we know there's R-Wings in the Super Mario, at least R-Wing toys, right? Mario is playing Kid Icarus. There's R-Wing toys in his room, or statues, if you will. So there's something there. And like the picture they put out today, there's a Toad in Mario PJs holding the Mario plushie. Like maybe why are they such big fans of Mario? Like, is Kid Icarus based on somebody that's in this universe, or is it literally just a video game? There's a lot of questions there too. A lot of questions. So back to Pokemon though, I had a great time with it. I had a really good time with it. I I told you guys, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my best to beat this thing. I sat down on Saturday and I just played. I just played. I played and I played and I played until I finally finished it up. And then I jumped into some Hyrule Warriors. And I still have to get the shiny charm, and there's a lot to do there. But especially with the show I'm doing with Nico, talking Pokemon, I'm like, I gotta beat this game so that I can easily get the teams that I need. Start, getting that Pokedex built back up and whatnot. So, but I had a really good time with it. I had a good time with it. I would say that like when it comes to pacing, like sitting down and playing that long session, like I did, um, it feels like a game that's a little bit better to pick up and do in short bursts than just like sitting and grinding it out like I did, because it's like you start to see a pattern of the same kind of stuff and you're like, oh, I gotta do this again, but they also introduced some really cool Pokemon as you're getting closer to the end. And then the ending blew me away. Like the whole thing, it was so much fun to do. The legendary Pokemon just absolutely blew my mind. The the battles and stuff, like, again, I'm no spoilers, but it was really, really good. Really good. So Nate says, I just hope the movie doesn't get everyone all hyped and then Mario Kart worlds us. Okay, enough hot takes. Here we go. Here we go. Cryptic says, nice. Are you going to be done by Metroid Prime? That's the goal. I want to have Hyrule Warriors done. I'm hoping to have it done this week. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Nico says, yeah, I felt like the pacing was a little odd in ZA with the day-night cycle and the ZA Royale. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what I'm getting. It was like, but although the nice thing about it is you could kind of do it how you wanted, which is what I did. So if it was like, okay, the ZA Royale, I'm just going to knock that out so that it's out of my way. And then I would go take care of the Mega Evolutions and then do my matches. And it was fine. So, but during like that middle of the game, breaking it up a little bit, like doing a little bit and then maybe going to a different game, then doing a little bit and going to a different game. That's how I would do it if I went through it again, for sure. I would go that route. So, oh, crazy. I was like, why? I can see white. My prompter was, the brightness was up too high. So it was bleeding into the lens of the camera. But I wanted to touch a little bit on Kirby Air Riders and get your guys' thoughts. I know some of you guys are a little bit on the fence about it. And so I'm just kind of curious on what everybody's thinking. Cryptic says, I can't wait for Mario movie, but also can't wait for the hype to shift for Zelda live action. I wonder when that trailer. Yes, when are we gonna see? When are we gonna see that? And I believe they've started shooting, from what I've heard. So, got maybe year and a half we start to see trailers. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a little before then. Nico says, my goal is to wrap up Hyrule Warriors by the time Kirby Air Riders drops. Yeah, that would be nice. That's what I'm shooting for as well. And it shouldn't be too bad. It should not be too bad. So, Nate says, that fence I'm on with Kirby has barbed wire. Uh-oh. So I'm like, it's interesting. After I played Kirby, I was like, okay, I get this. This is a game for me. I enjoyed it. I had fun. It wasn't until that point that I was kind of like, what is this? Like, is this a game for me? Is this? But it is. It definitely is. I did the city trial a handful of times. And I was like, this is, this is cool. Let me see. I think I can even get footage up here real quick. Just kind of show you guys how I was playing it here. Let's see. Where's Kirby? No, it's not that one. Got some shorter. Nope. I spent a lot of time like getting like testing different characters and getting a lot of screenshots and stuff from the game. Like I was having a lot of fun with it. Like I was really enjoying it. Like really enjoying it. So I was hoping there was going to be a bit more hype from other people as well. Like here we go. This is just me doing the racing over and over again. And yeah, I kind of lost myself in trying different machines and even different characters and trying to decide. Like I looked at it through like the lens of Mario Kart when it comes to racing as like okay, do I need top speed if I can't turn as well? And I looked more at the turning kind of like acceleration. And so I went by the end of my little test here, and I'm gonna do a video on this, kind of talking about a little bit more. But like by the end of the test, this was the setup I liked the best. The Warp Star and Kirby was the setup I liked. I liked the best. I think I even got my best time because I was tracking and kind of doing some time trials with it. So, but like I was talking in Discord, this is not your typical racing game where you're like, it is baby's first racer, but also has a bit of depth. But there's also some frustration with it. I will admit that I feel like they could use more buttons, right? I don't like that my boost is the same as my action button because I feel like I'm hitting the brakes trying to use my move when I don't want to be hitting my brakes, So Cryptic says, of course, Josh liked the standard cart with the standard character. So yes, and I knew that was going to end up becoming a thing. But I tried, like, I was literally going through the stats of every character, and I'm like, the mushroom, I can't remember his name, may have better stats than Kirby. Like, I got to go through my footage here and double check, but he might end up being a better choice. I just was looking. I just basically like looked through the stats, and I was like, okay, Kirby's kind of middle of the road. It's also very much my setup for Mario Kart, right? Which, I mean, I know that's the joke, but like, I typically go for the middle of the road kind of characters and then see how far I can push them. Hopefully. Nate says it would be so different if with family and kids, if they had a want for it. This is just a thing that happens when games prices raise. I get it. Yeah, Nico says, I'm really excited for Kirby. I never played the original, but this definitely looks like a game I'd enjoy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just, it is definitely like a kind of a fun game for like on the go because it's like less than 2 minutes to finish a race for certain tracks. And like you can do a few races and then jump to something else. Right? You're standing in line, you're waiting at the doctor's office, whatever. You can get a few races in, and then boom, you're back to real life or whatever. So it's just getting used to how simple it is. So Cryptic says, yeah, I was digging it, but I felt rushed to meet a specific time to play, and that might have soured the initial opinion because I had like 45 minutes. Yeah, I got you. And the timing thing is strange. I understand that they want to stress their servers as much as they can while hitting, the world. So, and I feel like, I feel like for me, being on the East Coast almost gave a little bit more opportunity, unless you wanted to stay up late on the West Coast for the first one at midnight. Because I think that one started at 3 a.m. for me, which was a bit too early, but it went long enough that I still got some time with it. I think another thing to really keep in mind is we are not seeing the full game. We are seeing 2 modes, and only one of them is online. Although I did not mess with the paddock much, so maybe there's a third mode there. I did not go in there at all. Cryptic's going to play a little more this weekend. Nate's going to play more this weekend. We should actually get a room together, you guys. So I would love it if we could get 16 people together, be in the Discord. I will let everybody know the exact time that I'm gonna be there. It will probably be like the afternoon slot on Saturday, or I guess it's kind of an evening. If it's the same as it's like 7 p.m. for me, so it may be around there. And I would love to try to fill a room. So if you guys want to check it out, it would be great to get as many people involved as we can. So Cryptic says, I ended up being at Meta Knight with Chariot Rider as your favorite so far. Very cool. Very cool. I liked different ones for City Trial versus what I did for racing too, though. Like, because there's strategy involved with City Trial where I was playing for a specific minigame. I wanted to do the Dusty Derby or whatever they call, where you're trying to take each other out. And I feel like I excelled at that during PAX, and I was usually getting third place in this one. But sometimes the room wasn't super full either. So, there's and some of the machines are difficult to drive. Like getting used to the tank with the tracks where it keeps going straight even though you're turning and hitting your brake. That messed with my head a little bit. Nate said, I didn't like a couple other characters. Some others don't even have the drift. Yeah. That threw me off too. I was doing like the wagon or whatever, and I was like, yo, there's no boost with this. Like, that's so strange that there was no boost. So Gas said, I lost my Switch. I had to buy a new one. I bought an OLED that should get here by Friday. Let's go. Glad to hear it. Cryptic says, some of the tracks have really sharp turns and narrow lines, so I wanted like a mix of speed and power and turn options. Oh yeah. That's real. That is real. This water track was tough. Yeah, and I love that you can like there's a wall of water, but you can go through it. Like, it's such a fun design. And I feel like graphically they're gorgeous. Like, it's a really pretty game. So I'm really excited to go like hands on with the final build to see how much is here, and if the price tag is justified. Because I feel like what I was seeing a lot online right now is that if this game was $40 or $50, it would be a purchase no problem. But sitting at 70 makes it a bit tougher to pull the trigger on it. So, and I get that. I mean, I get it. And I mean, Nate's mentioned it too. Nate said, so what would the skill gap be for something like this one? One button mechanics seems like just for fun type of game. That's a good point. I think about it and look at it kind of like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is an arcade racer at its core. And it's a very easy pick up and play. Learn the tracks for the shortcuts, for the mushroom shortcuts, and you can do all right. You can do all right. And I think this game's going to fall in that same category. If you spend too much time in Mario Kart World and you start learning, a lot of the ins and outs of some of these tracks, you can just smoke the casual players in no time. In no time. And so, of course, there's going to end up being a meta in this game. But there's also I would say this game is far more, it's more about getting your lines, getting those correct lines. So you still have to memorize the track, but you don't have to worry too much about like trying to find specific shortcuts or anything along those lines. It's like, I did the, you'll see from this video, like I did this track here. What was it called? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head now, but Floria Fields. I did it over and over and over again for this video, just over and over and over again. And I wasn't getting bored. I was like, okay, how can I improve here? How can I get a little bit better here? What, and then when you're trying different, like this paper glider that I'm on right now, it's steered so well that I'd end up driving into the wall. See, I would overshoot my turn. And so I ended up not liking this one. So, see, I drove into the wall again right there. And it just, I ended up going back to the Warp Star because that's where that's where I had the most fun. So yeah, I think the skill gap will come from just knowing the tracks. But that's something that's not unattainable. Whereas like, not that Mario Kart World is unattainable, but it's an investment in time. It's almost like Mario Kart World is more like an RPG, I would say. If you really, really want to get good at that game, you're going to spend hours with it. So, so yeah. I had a good time. I recommend everybody check it out. I kind of want to go back and watch the direct again and just see all the different modes and really look at the whole package again to really give my opinion on like, do I think this is worth the $70? And that's even a hard thing to say. This like $70 is a chunk of change. I will say this, like, I picked up Hyrule Warriors at a discount at GameStop. I used like my power, the pro membership or whatever that helped take some money off. I also had points from buying the Switch there. So I ended up getting it for like $47. So take advantage of things like that when it comes to your purchases, if you can. Like the Target Red Card, you get 5% off of every purchase. So that helps a little bit. But like the early days of the Switch when Best Buy, everything was $10 off if you bought it at launch day or Amazon, like we were getting games for $50. And that's gone. If you're going digital, use that Costco trick where you go and get eShop, the $100 eShop cards for $90. Then you can save a little bit that way as well. It's not a lot, but anything helps, So I think that's going to do it for me tonight. My voice is just about gone, but you guys have been absolutely amazing. I hope you are liking these shows because this is going to be something that we're going to do nightly. I'm shooting for 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. We're going to sit for 30 minutes to an hour, and it's going to be just chatting, just like this. So someone said, are you hyped for July 17th, 2026? What What is that date, my friend? What is that date? I'm very curious now. I feel like I should be, but I don't know if I know what it is off the top of my head. So we'll just have to what game got that release date? I think the Mario movie's out before then. So now you have my curiosity, that's for sure. Is that when the next Xbox comes out? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. See if the Odyssey gives me an answer. Oh, I'll give you guys, if you didn't see my video today, there is today in Nintendo history was Mario Party 7, and it was the last time that the Koopa Kid. So this was like before Bowser Jr., after the Koopalings, there's the Koopa Kid. And this was a character that honestly I did not know much about or really remember. And I know I had Mario Party 7 with the microphone and everything, but I really didn't remember him. It's also the last game that Jen Taylor voiced Peach, and she was she's the voice of Cortana in Halo. So that's also kind of cool there. So all right, guys. Well, thank you again for everything. And let me know, like I said, in the Discord or over on X or in the reviews on Apple or Spotify, what you guys think of these style shows where we just hang out and hit different topics and just basically go through chat. So it's a ton of fun for me. And it's also as much prep work as I've been doing recently. This is just a breath of fresh air for me. So appreciate you guys so very much. We will see you in the next one. Bye now.